of this room. Very funny man. Give it up for Thomas Harty, everybody.
Yeah.
So at the job I have now, I've been thinking back about to the time I first got hired. And I remember I was talking to the HR lady. She said at this company we have random drug testing. And so I pressed her to elaborate on that. And she said, oh, if we think you're taking drugs, we test you. That's not what random means. That is a very straightforward and logical approach to drug testing. I dare say scientific. So not accurate what she said there at all. In March, I was up in Alaska for my brother's wedding. And it was, I wasn't out there for very long, but it was pretty fun. And I was fortunate enough to take in some of the natural sights, see some of the wildlife. While I was up there, I saw a caribou fight. I saw a muskox fight. I saw my parents fight. That's not really true. They get along pretty well, but I can't resist the old 60s revival setup punch show. Very nice and tight. I feel it's a lost art in this day and age, so I try and spring it out when I can. Answer me this. How many of you have been seeing this latest cinematic phenomenon known as the Avengers?
Yeah!
Fair number of people. It's always good when we have a common frame of reference. I'm not a big fan of comic book movies, superhero movies, and it's not that I can't understand or appreciate fantasy, it's just that in a fictional universe, the characters' actions must make sense in light of the rules they must abide by. And I saw a number of things in that movie that did not make sense. And to give a few examples, okay, so there's a character, Captain America. In the Captain America movie, which came out a couple years ago, at the end of it, what happens is he's on board a bomber and it crashes into the ice and he gets frozen for 70 years, and then he is revived later, but they put him in this like weird habitat where all the decor is from the 1940s, and they do that because they don't want the future to shock him. But here's the thing. Captain America was a weakling who was injected with an experimental serum and became a super soldier, fought against monsters and Nazis, crash-landed a bomber into ice, was frozen for 7 years, and then was revived. I think he can handle seeing a flat-screen TV. Second thing. In the movie, there's this, and it's not a spoiler, so don't get mad at me, it's a thing called a helicarrier, and it's a hybrid, a very, very cool hybrid between a helicopter and an aircraft carrier, hence the name. And what it is, an aircraft carrier is a gigantic ship. And so what this thing does is engines pop out of the side of it, and they turn on, and it flies up into the sky, like a helicopter. And after it does that, it turns invisible because it also has a cloaking device. And I'm okay with all of that from a sci-fi perspective. Here's the problem. The engines which would be necessary to lift an object the size of an aircraft carrier up into the sky would be very, very, very loud. So I have to ask at this point, what would be the point of making it invisible? No? No one else has thought of that? Well, you should be thinking about it, because, well, I guess it wouldn't matter, because it made anyone deaf if it flew over them. And, well, I guess I should move on to the big finish. How about that? Now, I've been coming here a lot, and I've always been admiring these stained glass windows. I don't know why there's stained glass windows in a bar. I like to think it was someone who wanted to sort of, you know, take a sarcastic jab at a church, but I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I think I came up with a coherent story which ties all these windows together. So here we go. I see it as a reimagining of the Terminator. So you see, Skynet in this version decides to send back in time not a man, but a duck. What could be more inconspicuous? Not to be outdone, the humans send back in time Kyle Reese's brain inside of a bear, who finds Sarah Connor and says, "Come with me if you want to live, and by the way, put on this moose costume." And then, of course, the Termaduck, his constant waddling is, you know, unstoppable. And so they meet up with a friendly eagle, and Kyle Reese Bear says to the eagle, it's like, "I'll give you some Pop-Tarts if you drop a log on the Termaduck." He says, "Fuck yeah, I love Pop-Tarts." And that's how it ends. Thank you, United.
Thomas Harty. You know, he's usually my facts guy. He's the one that comes up here and gives us drops a little knowledge on us all.
I got one. Can I? It's about cunt.
You know, I just want to say that it really warmed my heart to see how wild your imagination was when you weren't spitting facts. So that left my brain in a happy place. And we've heard enough about cunts for one 20-minute segment.
It's very quick.
We haven't heard enough.
All right. Thomas Harty will put you back on the bottom of the list. All right, this better be the fastest cunt. Anything. I'm not even getting off the stage.
Oh, Rena, you're the fastest cunt. We all know it.
Whoa!
Now, the word cunt is actually derived from a medieval French word con, which simply means a fool or a foolish person. So if you call a foolish or stupid person a cunt, it's actually closer to the original meaning.
Yeah!